Think back to your history class. How often were you taught about the achievements of white people throughout the United States? Whether it's the founding fathers signing the Declaration of Independence, Columbus discovering America, or the Industrial Revolution. Of the times that we do learn about BIPOC history, it's about the tragedies. It's about slavery, Jim Crow laws, violence towards BIPOC communities. Not often do we learn about the success and the progress of BIPOC in history. While we do learn about the civil rights movement and the progress it has made, it seems like this is one of the only topics that focuses on their success. Achievements and progress of BIPOC are not taught or represented in the media. It creates the false perception of them being innately different. It alienates them. This is the same with successful people shown in the media. In almost all cases, it's white people who are presented as the role models, the entrepreneurs, the innovators, the visionaries. The issue is that this can have drastic effects among BIPOC and especially BIPOC youth. Not seeing your group represented as role models or visionaries or innovators or just successful people has an effect on self-esteem and can even impact your own perception of what it means to become successful. This is why it's vital to share stories that empower BIPOC. One of those stories that should be shared is Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street is the name given to a prosperous business section located in the Greenwood district of Tulsa, Oklahoma. This story is almost completely ignored throughout history courses, and I personally didn't even know about it until I watched a TV show which included it in one of its scenes. The district received the name Black Wall Street because of its flourishing variety of businesses that were all black owned and run. The district also produced quite a bit of millionaires who were all black. There were banks, all types of shops, theaters, a hospital, even forms of transportations like a cable car. It soon became a beacon of wealth, education, and advancement, according to Anthony Guerra. It began all with a group of founders. Included was a man named Ottawa W. Gurley. Intrigued by the oil boom in Tulsa, he decides to buy 40 acres of land, which he promises to only sell to blacks. He starts to draw plans of the city, drawing streets, where the cable cars will go, business sectors, housing, and much more. He then opens the first store in the Greenwood district, which was a grocery store, along with some residential buildings and some other spaces for more stores. Soon, more and more blacks start to move in, and O.W. Gurley begins to lease and sell the land to them, and even offers loans to blacks wanting to open their own businesses, encouraging entrepreneurship. Soon enough, Black Wall Street emerges. As more people moved in, Gurley soon becomes the richest man in the district, and according to some, even the richest black man in the United States, and was soon put into the position of sheriff's deputy. Another prominent figure in Black Wall Street was J.B. Stadford. He had a very similar role in Black Wall Street. He helped found it. He also bought a lot of land. However, he arrived a bit earlier in Tulsa than Gurley. He also played a big role in the community, opening many shops and even a hotel. He self-educated himself and even went to college to become a lawyer, where he helped Greenwood residents with legal issues. Greenwood had a newspaper called the Tulsa Star that was completely black-owned and run newspaper. It was founded in 1912 and was later taken over by Andrew Jackson Smitherman in 1913. The newspaper was credited with providing leadership and influencing and shaping Tulsa's black community. The paper often criticized the wrongdoings of local politics and also brought to attention many issues facing blacks in the area and helped rile them against common issues. Smitherman acted as a reporter and the chief producer for the newspaper. When he acted as the reporter, he often put himself in harm's way, engaging in dangerous situations and even trying to intervene in some lynchings. Black Wall Street was the home of many business owners and also attracted others like lawyers and doctors. One of them was Peter A. Chappell. a lawyer who opened a law firm in Tulsa in 1920. Although there is not much information about him, we know that he helped black people fight against many racist laws, helped them with disputes, and even sued the city of Tulsa for damages after the race riot broke out in 1921. The issue with not teaching about this prosperous area is that it creates the idea that black people can't be successful. It frames them as lazy, poor, and unsuccessful. Black Wall Street, on the other hand, is a perfect example of how this is not true. It directly counteracts colorblind racism, as this is based on the idea that racial inequality doesn't exist. Instead, the differences produced by racial inequality are labeled as individualistic problems. Black Wall Street shows that black people can be extremely successful, and they have been, and they always can be, and are. Showing these positive role models is extremely important because it gives black youth people to look up to. Often the only black role models that are presented in the media are athletes, which are gives the sense to black youth that athletics is their only option. Black people are not the only people who would benefit from this representation. White people would see examples of successful black people, which dispels the idea of there being innate differences between races, something that has been so ingrained into our society that still many people believe it is true. It makes people more aware of the racial inequalities that BIPOC communities face, which in turn makes it easier to address those inequalities and make America more equal.